Hi, this is Tess from Yes Yoga. So this is just a really short video to go through the pelvic floor activation with the healing breath. So this is really nice to do at any time of the day really. If you're feeding or resting, you could do this while you're lying down. It's a really nice way to remember to do it daily, and it has a really deep-rooted impact on the strength and mobility of your pelvic floor. So the ability to actually activate, but then also to release the pelvic floor muscles. So finding a comfortable seat, or you can do this lying down. Make sure that you've got something soft to rest onto. You can even lean against a wall. And then just begin to either close down the eyes or gaze forward and begin to feel your breath. So you might want to take a hand to your belly and just begin to feel the breath in the belly. So just noticing the temperature of the air as it comes in, and the temperature of the air warmed by the body as it draws out. And then maybe taking a hand to the chest, just beginning to feel the breath drawing into the belly and the bottom hand expanding out as you inhale. And then exhaling as that hand draws down and in as the belly softens. And just take your time to feel that expansion on the inhale and softening on the inhale. Then begin with the next breath to draw the breath up into the top hand, into the chest. So big inhale, feel the back of the waist, then forward into the front of the waist, drawing up through the ribs, back to front, and then back of the heart space all the way up into the top hand. And then as you exhale, first chest comes down, top hand, ribs draw in and down toward the hip crease, and the belly softens, and belly button back toward the spine. Inhaling up, belly into the top hand, chest. Try not to let the shoulders lift. Try to just feel the activation through the chest. Try to keep the shoulders soft. And then as you exhale, the breath comes down, heart space, back down to the pelvis. As the belly button draws in, begin to feel or sensitize to the pelvic floor and see if you can feel any activation there with the exhale. Then on the next inhale, drawing the breath all the way up, breathing up into that top hand, feeling the breath drawing out along the collarbones. And then exhaling down, beginning to draw the lower ribs in and down, back toward the hips. Feeling the belly button draw down, and then begin to catch that uplift of the pelvic floor and see if you can draw in around the vaginal muscles, drawing them in and up. See with the next inhale if you can hold that lift of the pelvic floor, breathing all the way up, belly to chest, back of heart space, all the way forward into that hand. And then as you exhale, drawing down and beginning to draw up the pelvic floor a little more. So keeping that hold, seeing if you can lift a little more, higher. And then final inhale, belly into the chest. And then as you exhale, just let everything release now, all the way down. So breathing heart space down into the pelvis as the breath draws out, feeling the belly button draw back toward the spine, and the complete release of the pelvic floor muscles. And then just allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm, and draw both hands together and just give them a little rub so that you feel some heat generated between the hands. And then see if you can just draw the hands apart slightly and feel whatever activation you can sense between your hands. It's nice to close the eyes. Maybe you feel like a magnetic charge or a pull or a heat or warmth. And like the hands are almost like gravitating towards each other, and just see what happens when you play with that. Feeling or sensing some kind of force or attraction, magnetization there between your hands. Now rub your hands again. And now I want to imagine between your ischial tuberosities, so those two sit bones at the base of your pelvis that you're sat on right now, rub your hands till they get really hot. And then imagine that space, that magnetic charge that you now have between your hands, and see if you can draw it down toward the base of the pelvis where the two sit bones protrude. And see if you can imagine that magnetic charge there, what you have in between your hands. Hold it between your sit bones. Feel that magnetism, that energy or charge, like the pelvic floor. And let's return the hands, belly and heart space. And let's do that healing breath one more time, sensitizing and feeling around your root, around the base of the pelvis. And then drawing the breath up the spine, so from pelvis to heart and back down. So taking a nice big inhale into the belly, and then feeling the back of the ribs, the front of the ribs, the breath drawing up to the back of the heart space, flooding all the way forward, filling the chest cavity. And then as you exhale, it comes from top down the torso into the bottom hand as the belly button draws back and the pelvic floor begins to lift. See if you can activate and gently draw up the pelvic floor muscles toward the cervix. See if you can hold that, and your next inhale, breathe into the belly, rib cage, right up into the chest, into that top hand. Feel the flooding, opening through the chest space. And then as you exhale, see if you can lift the pelvic floor a little more as the breath draws down and out. This is an activation up of the pelvic floor. It's like it's coming to meet the breath as it draws out. Belly button's drawing back toward the spine. Let's take one more inhale. Hold whatever you've got. Big inhale into the belly. Breath draws into the rib cage all the way up into the back of the heart space and floods forward into this top hand. Spacious and open across the collarbones. And then as you exhale, let everything go, letting the breath come down. Heart all the way down into the belly. Belly button draws back. And see if you can draw a little bit more breath out than is just your natural exhale. And then just let the hands come down, turn up onto the thighs or knees. And just close the eyes. Feel the breath in the body. Feel your pelvis, feel that root system, that charge or energy, prana, life force, which is running through your whole system. And see if you can just sensitize and feel into the pelvis. Maybe there is a change in what you feel there. It's a really wonderful breath to do, to begin to build and increase pelvic floor health stability, begin to support the pelvic organs, and begin to really feel into the activation and release of the pelvic floor muscles. So trying to do this daily, even for a short period, is really helpful to long-term overall alignment and postural integrity in the body. So enjoy.